something.
Go right ahead.
Say that.
India now level. That's what I wanted to say, which is why I had the smile on my face.
That's all. It's like, I want to say something. I felt like he'll have some energy. He will say something of important. India now and all. That's all.
Welcome back.
I'm soft-spoken these days.
But could have said something, na? Even if you wanted to say something like that. It's a
Bazball
day,
down.
It's a moment to celebrate.
I know.
Down with Bazball.
We knew this was
Convention always
Anyways,
wins.
Shane, please tell us. Sum up.
What we expected, and as I think a lot of us had called, that this test match would not be lasting beyond the second session of the day. That's exactly what happened, albeit with a bit of an extension. But I think that's the reason we said also that it's not going beyond.
6 minutes
You knew,
extension.
6 minutes in, and it didn't really matter. It was always going to be a case of, let's say, a formality once it's 9 wickets down. What the remaining wickets, I think, what the key changing moment, the one moment which once again changed it, and once again the man to do it, Jasprit Bumrah. Once again, that wicket of Ben Foakes, manufactured out of nothing, brings you back into the game, and then you wipe out the tail with ease, as expected.
But as we had predicted, apart from the game getting over by tea time, that Jasprit Bumrah wouldn't be as docile as Jasprit Bumrah of the first session. One, the pitch, that roller effect for the first hour did not allow him to be that effective, and it did take for that ball to start doing those tricks with the reverse swing a little more than usual. After the 40 over mark, you knew, yes, the ball was getting to do a lot of things, and Jasprit Bumrah, you knew, in these conditions would have been a tough nut to handle at that moment, and that's exactly how it happened. 1-1 is where India stand, and for once in this test match, India were ahead from the start, and they kept their necks ahead throughout the course of this match. It was exactly like this in Hyderabad too, only for England to pip them at the last moment. This time the Indian team didn't allow them to do that, also aided by the fact that they had a lot of runs. That 143 run lead, the first inning leads, is now the difference between the two teams, because 200 odd is what both teams have got in their second innings, so not much to choose from. England marginally more than India in the second innings, but that's what you expect, right? Slightly more or slightly less from one team. But I think it's that difference of the first inning, and then it goes back to that performance of Jasprit Bumrah in the first innings, which I think has been the differentiator. So it's going to be a lot of argument. We'll get into the details of the match. Two contenders for man of the match. One, there is Yashasvi Jaiswal with his double ton, because that helped India get to that total, which we're saying is a big difference. But on the other hand, you also have a Jasprit Bumrah who ensured that when the pitch was very good to bat on, and England too could have gotten close to 400, he ensured that wasn't to happen. So who are you going with?
Jasprit Bumrah, any day of the week. But I know it's probably going to go to Yashasvi Jaiswal.
Even I don't want to give it to Jasprit Bumrah, because again I remember the first innings when he actually turned the match around for India, when actually I think at that point somewhere down the line India could have been on the back foot. He got India back into that game there for that turning point, and today also the way he bowled. And I remember we talked about this fact that bowlers are generally less celebrated. So I think these are the small things that should be done in favor of the bowlers to actually get them at the same bar as batsmen. So I think even though I know really great innings by Yashasvi Jaiswal, he's a youngster, this would really motivate him and all of that, but still I would want to give it to Jasprit Bumrah.
I think I want to give it to Yashasvi. I think the whole match was set up and India got that foundation because of his knock. If it wasn't for those 200 odd runs that he'd scored, forget the result, India wouldn't have had anything to play for, or let's say, be as competitive as they were or have the noses ahead. So it was his knock, his double 100 for me that gave India everything and that solid foundation to build on. Youngster, and yes, the fact that there was only one more centurion across 4 innings in Shubman Gill, that I think tells me yes, these were batting conditions as was said, but really if you are to see it, if it were that easy, you would have had more centurions and perhaps one from England as well, but that wasn't quite the case as we had seen on day one. So good batsmanship from Yashasvi. I love the effort that was put in by Jasprit Bumrah. I think very fine bowling. One will recall this as one of his better spells. I think finishing with a 9-wicket haul at the end of it. But I think I'd like to give it to Yashasvi.
It's a tough call. I agree, and this is why I pointed out tough call because on one hand, Yashasvi is 200 and the second highest score is 34. So there is the difference there. Otherwise, India probably weren't getting that 143 run lead, and could have been a different test match. But again, if you look at it the other side, England could have gotten 400, not allowed that 143 run lead if it wasn't for Jasprit Bumrah, and England chase it down even now if it wasn't for Jasprit Bumrah. Tough call. But I may also be tilting towards a Jasprit Bumrah. Picks up 9 wickets, almost one innings, he's dismissed. Nobody comes close. Whereas in terms of, you see batting, there is 100 by Gill, there is a 70 plus by a Crawley in the second innings as well. So there have been performers in terms of runs. But what he's done, half, so there are 20 wickets to be taken, half of them taken by one bowler. And the clincher for me, on a flat track like
Correct.
that. On a flat track like that. Had it been a, pitch that was assisting bowlers and he utilized that and picked it up, maybe. I'm also going Jasprit Bumrah. So we've had 3 go for Jasprit Bumrah. 1 is going for Yashasvi. But we have one who says he would go with Jasprit, but he thinks they will give it to Yashasvi.
Yeah, even I think so. They'll give it to Yashasvi.
I mean, the fact that they were interviewing him first up is a dead giveaway.
I'm saying they're giving it to Jasprit Bumrah.
I hope they do. I would really like if they do.
Even I would like it, but I still feel that they'll give it to Yashasvi again because of the reason he's a youngster.
I don't think it's that. I think it's generally these awards are very skewed towards batters.
No, but we have seen
Acha,
that
put the
change
poll.
over time.
Put one poll. Let's hear it from everyone.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Who is your man of the match?
Yeah.
Who is your man of the match? And let's get some votes in, and we'll have an idea. Okay, let's get down to the match. Has India answered? Jimmy Anderson, he said, we will chase this down in 60 overs.
They did.
I don't think that he did not say this direct. He said we would have tried 600 also. That is what our Baz told us. So I'd say it's more of self-confidence that they had on themselves. I'm not going to take that away from them because they have also done it again and again. And the more you believe, the more chances you would actually are there that you would actually achieve it. But yeah, this in 60 overs, that was a bit. I feel till that point it was fine. But actually coming out and saying that India was nervous, India did not know what their safe score would be against us, that was a little too much.
Actually, the funny part is I agree with his second point. If he said that India were tentative, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
What I found borderline arrogant was saying that we're going to try and chase it down in 60 overs. Mate,
Yeah,
you have 400 on the board. It doesn't happen that often in this country. Say it after you've won the match.
But they've done that in...
No, but yeah, in their own country.
They got to 378 in Birmingham against...
But Birmingham. Very different conditions. In England, it tends to ease out the longer the test match goes. In India, it's the opposite. You will get tougher batting conditions as the match goes on. There's something. I don't mind you being...
I'm saying,
I don't mind
I
trash
understand where
talking.
he comes from, but again, and it's because you've done it to India and then Hyderabad happened. So for him to
let's be honest. Let's be honest.
Exactly.
No matter what you have done, I find it hard to believe that it is genuinely something that they believed in. I think it was a lot of showboating.
Yeah, 60
it was
overs.
a lot of hyperbole from Jimmy Anderson saying that, oh, we'll do it. This was effectively a Glenn McGrath saying 4-0 before the series start. The difference is that in their case, more often than not, they would do it also. But here saying we'll chase it in 60 overs, oh, this is not enough, 400 is nothing, we have to chase 600. That is pushing it a bit, and I think heart of heart he knew. I can't believe that he 100% believed in it. It was more either showboating or trying to put pressure on India, like gamesmanship, mind games.
Yeah.
It has to be based on that. It can't be that genuinely he thought, hey, what is this 600? In a country where the highest total chase by a foreign team,
It's 200
in 70, 80 years of test cricket happening here is 200 something. You can't completely change it. Okay, by the way, you may be looking at Bazball. We've had much stronger teams come here. Let's be honest. Bazball may be a breath of fresh air. We've had much stronger teams visit India than this English team. You've had the peak Australia visit here a few times. Peak Australia. Like batters. You keep talking about Bazball, but batters that were playing even Bazball
Back
during
then.
that time also. A Gilchrist, a Hayden, a Ricky Ponting. batting order has also told here. So even they would not say something like, "Arey, what is 600? We will chase." Then you've had the original Bazballers in West Indies tour here. They hammered India 5-0 also. Okay, the West Indies of Clive Lloyd, the West Indies of a Desmond Hayne, a Gordon Greenidge, a Viv Richards, legends, like next level. Even they have told. There is a reason why no country has been able to chase this down in Indian conditions, right? No matter the pitch. You've had flatter pitches than they have not. So to say that we can do it, I think was a exaggeration. Having said that, I'm not really trying to downplay England. I think they can hold their heads high even now. To get to 292 is also a remarkable achievement in that sense.
Yes.
Where they've not, they've not crumbled. Whatever they did in this much time, I think not only for them holding their heads high, even for people who were watching at the ground, even for all of us who were watching it on television, I'll have to say that this was a good day of Test cricket. This was a good approach in the fourth innings by England. It kept the Test match exciting, especially for us Indian fans who got so used to other teams capitulating in scenarios where you're choosing, including England, every other team. When the target is 400 against India, even if it's a flat pitch, we've seen teams crumble 1 session, 2 sessions, and we wouldn't have been surprised if they were. They did not. They came out all guns blazing. They are a 100-run shot, 106-run shot, which is just a 100-run shot from an imposing total that they were to chase. That itself is a good achievement. But even then, Jimmy Anderson went a little too far.
I do believe that he did go a little too far, but 60 overs I agree that was, I don't think that they were actually aiming to chase it down in 60 overs, but I do think that
600?
Not a chance.
No, I'll tell you.
So the two things only he said, na. 60 over you think cannot be done. 600 they would have chased. They could not chase, na. They have not reached 300. Half of 600 they have not reached.
Yeah, they haven't reached, I know, but what I personally feel is that they truly believed that they can go past 400.
There's a better way of putting it than that. Let's put it that
No,
way.
okay, 400, okay, I'll still go.
Yeah.
I'll still give you that heart of heart, okay, no matter how. They would have still gone, let's say 50-50. That's the best I can give. So England thought 50-50 chance, boss, we can chase it. That also, I'm exaggerating. It takes a lot. Realistically also, you can say whatever you want to the media, what you feel inside. So inside also, assuming that they are very confident, they look at games positive, which is true. Even there, they would have been 50-50. We can get to it, we can try. Yeah. But he is saying 600, boss.
Yeah, they would have.
So everything that he is saying is like 60 over 600.
In heart and heart, they would have known that it's 50-50. That they would
Yes.
have known that it's not a guarantee that they would win it.
So then 600
But they were
were
not thinking about this, the fact that they would lose it.
So if
They
it was
were only-
600, they would be 50-50. If it was a 600 run target.
they would have gone after it.
Gone after to anyone, even if India were batting, they would have to go after it.
Yeah.
But I'm saying the belief inside, you would know, if you are Rohit Sharma, you are chasing 600, you would know inside, boss, this is a game we've lost. But let's give
Even
it a shot.
400, even 400.
Let's give it a shot. England also, let's be honest, that's why I'm saying whatever he's saying is an exaggeration. Yes, I'll agree to you on that front that 400, they had it in their mind, boss, we have a chance. Let's not give up. Maybe most other
Give
teams
up,
said,
I think it's not in the dictionary.
Sure. But 600, you not reached half of that 600, boss. You are 292. There's a reason. Unless you say that no, if that DRS was in their favor, they would have chased for it. Unless you give that excuse.
See, what undid England today is simple. If you're looking at 3 players who I genuinely believe at some point or the other going to turn the match around, it's only Jasprit Bumrah. Of course, I have to give a special shout out to that run out by Shreyas Iyer.
What was Ben Stokes doing? Please tell me that.
I
Ball
think
watching.
Ben Stokes needs to look in the mirror and give himself a good kick. Because he was
100%.
ball watching.
Not only that, jogging. Ball watching. So if you're ball watching, which you should not, but assuming he was ball watching.
At least run full tilt. Do something. He's jogging. He only took off when he realized, oh, Shreyas is actually thrown.
Yeah,
He's actually thrown.
And that could be.
So that is one game-changing moment. But other than that, if you look at who are the players who could have troubled India with the bat, Bairstow, who gets rid of him? Bumrah. Who is the person, who are the people trying to do a lower order salvage and actually giving certain fans jitters? Hartley and Ben Foakes. Who gets rid of them? Bumrah.
And
It's always Bumrah. And again, I know we're saying
That's
this.
why my man of the match.
Yeah, and I know we're saying this in hindsight, but when Ben Foakes was dismissed, they were 275. Now you tell me, Ben Foakes somehow scratches, gets them to 300. With Tom Hartley still there.
Yeah.
Trust me, it will be squeaky bum time for even the Indian
Yeah,
players.
definitely.
At that point, even you're thinking, shit, it's only 100 runs. What are we going to do?
And then
That is why that wicket, I said, once you got there,
And then the countdown after that, after the three digits are done, it's just 2 digits and it's just coming down, then it automatically would have got.
But
Why
even
does
then,
it-
100 again with Ben Fox, I know he comes in. See, he doesn't come in with a Ben Stokes reputation. Let's not mix the two Bens over here. You knew at some point you're getting Ben Fox's wicket. Once Stoke was there, you knew the match is well and truly
No,
yours.
not
let's say.
necessary, not
And I
necessary.
don't think, let's say, that's where I don't think, even with the Ben Fox over there, I don't think you would have really panicked with 100 runs still
no,
left in the
I'll tell
bag.
you why. I'll tell you why. There's a
Because
reason.
that's still a lot of runs.
Why I'm telling you personally is because Fox, even though he's been very in and out of the side for forever, his entire Test career has been start-stop. But when he bats with the lower order, he has a very good record of crafting partnerships. In fact, in his time in the team, he's crafted 600-run partnerships for the 5th wicket or lower. You know what's happened in all single one of those matches? England have won. I'm just saying, you needed that wicket. Stokes comes with the reputation because he's cavalier and tends to kind of have those maverick knocks. Fox is a quiet assassin.
And how many of those in subcontinent?
A good chunk of those would be in the subcontinent because he rarely plays for England.
So that would have been then Pakistan, I'm guessing. Sri Lanka. So I think 2 matches over there and 3 that they played in Pakistan. I don't think that tells me a lot about
Sri Lanka?
No, but this pitch is quite like
Yeah,
those pitches.
Exactly.
It's not the.
It's bowler skill that got you wickets here, and that includes Bumrah. Wasn't a tough wicket to bat on by any
No,
stretch of the
I have a question. You're saying all of you are in agreement that at least Shashwat and Shena that once you got down below 100, let's say Folk still batting below 100 to chase, the pressure will be on India. My point is, why is the pressure always on India? When India is needing 27 runs, 28 runs, the pressure is on
I'll tell you
India.
why.
England are not feeling it. Now England on the other hand need 100 runs. India are bowling, yet the pressure is on India. Why is it that the pressure is only on
Because
India?
India firstly was 1-0 down in this series. India have shown that under pressure they have actually crumbled in the last test match also, before today's play also. Yesterday
Why was the pressure not on England when India had less than 50 runs to get in the previous test match? Why was the pressure not on England?
I think because
Why is it always on India?
it's always in India because again India are playing in their home conditions. England they had already gotten till
So
till
that
about-
should
But
be
the advantage,
Exactly, yeah. if
that
he-
should be advantageous, right?
No, I think with India, why I always say that the pressure situations tend to undo them is because, well, benefit of history. Pressure situations we don't do well in.
Yeah.
That's a sad reality when it comes to this team. You can
Sure.
play convincing cricket, and I'm not just talking about in ICC tournaments, although that's where most of it comes. You can play convincing cricket throughout. In the knockout, there'll be a pressure situation. You end up.
Do you know
crumbling.
what the irony is?
Yeah.
While I may agree with you saying recently India, under the irony is we're talking about an English team which in history of cricket were always known to crumble under pressure.
Exactly.
Till very recently, that thing has changed. But now we've reached a situation where we're now saying that whatever the situation, 100 runs less needed, India is under pressure
Yeah.
if England is batting. India needs less than 50 runs, again India under pressure. It's interesting, and I'm not agreeing or disagreeing with it. All I'm saying is the mindset certainly of people who are watching the game from the outside like us has changed, because England for the longest time were known to be that team in cricket especially, maybe even to an extent in football. in their
No, not
sporting-
just to an extent. Definitely.
more so,
Great.
more so. So I'm saying in a sporting scenario, they always looked at that team that come pressure time, they're crumbling.
See, there are only 2 great, if you're talking about individual sports, there are only 2 truly great athletes, actually 3 if you're going by that.
You're including Lewis Hamilton.
I mean, of course I'm including a Lewis Hamilton, 103 race wins. Means,
And does well under pressure.
and is someone who never buckles under pressure. He's one who always stood out. A Mo Farah, someone who always come whatever situation. Because he's not Brit. Then again, I can say the same about Lewis Hamilton. Then the only,
Nobody's half.
and the only other one then would be Ronnie Sullivan.
Oh yeah.
Another one. Under pressure is an
But
absolute.
because he's a maverick.
Yeah, he is a maverick. But then every single one of these players, again, look at the Englishmen who don't quilt under pressure. Ben Stokes, maverick. They are all mavericks.
Also not Brit.
Also not Brit,
Also not
technically a
Brit.
New Zealander.
Kiwi, yeah.
Basically, if you're English and you're thinking of locking immigration, don't.
Oh yeah.
Your
Don't.
best things come from immigration, including your cuisine.
including your Prime Minister.
Well, yeah.
Okay. Looking at this test match and various good things to have come out. One, I think the Indian team, I like the positive attitude. We mentioned it in our lunchtime show as well. I think because we're very easy to criticize also Rohit Sharma and his captaincy. Where the series stands right now is 1-1. Going back to the team management, and because I'm going to take captain and coach both, let's be honest. To an extent, they've made us eat humble pie because all of us were in agreement that after losing that match, India needed to come up with a rank turner. The leader in saying all of this was Shashwat, who had even prepared a blueprint for India for the Vizag pitch after Hyderabad got over. He had prepared a blueprint that included, amongst many things, a greenhouse and
Club
match and no water and blocking even the groundwater through some spikes. Lot of things he had put.
Spikes,
digging,
sickle.
a lot of sickle. Lot of things were put in that blueprint. He prepared it. Oh, fair enough. He was.
But I also was the first one to say this, that this approach could be also ultra attacking thinking by Rohit.
No, I can't remember that.
No,
I'm just saying. I am just.
In the dugout.
Find a clip.
He will definitely.
So no. But it's not you. All of us thought. Let's be honest. We thought that India may not be to the extent that Shashwat won, but we all thought that best chance for India is now don't prepare a slow turner in Hyderabad. Go with your ranked turners because faster pitches, your Akshar and co come into play and you're going to win. At least that was what most of us thought should have been done. India, on the other hand, went with the complete opposite approach. They came up with a good batting surface, the traditional Indian pitch that you would get. They went with that. Now that was an approach which was fraught with risk, both sides. It could lead to England getting 600 batting first. It could help Bazball as we predicted. It could help England put on mighty totals that you would struggle to chase, and it could put England in a situation where they would have been up 2-0 at the end of the second test match. So that wasn't an easy decision for the Indian team to take. They took that decision and I'm glad they did, which has now resulted in them winning. So just as you are critical sometime on the choices that India made, I think this, against what most people were thinking, against conventional wisdom, they went the other side. It's proven to be successful. I think the logic behind that was quite simple. We discussed the logic was that let's work on our bowlers are better than their bowlers. Flat pitch, their inexperienced bowling lineup will struggle to get us out cheaply, whereas our bowling lineup with an Ashwin, Kuldeep and Bumrah, even on a flat pitch, are capable enough to dismiss England cheaply. So let's work on our strength and also give confidence to our batters to bat on these flat tracks and go with it. That has paid off. So well done to Rahul Dravid, Rohit Sharma, whoever took this call. And now I just hope that this is what they continue. And I think they will. Now that you've had the win, I would want them to give these traditional Indian pitches, those typical pitches that we saw, which really helps you batting first and then slowly start spinning and turning and helping the spinners. I hope it is like that, unless, I don't know. Right?
I also really hope that they start now going against convention, because I'm pretty sure if you look up convention in the dictionary, you'll see a picture of the Indian cricket team there. Everything is convention. Please sometimes go against it. It might actually work out better for you.
They did this time by taking this call.
That's what I'm saying. Now start taking further calls like that. You need to actually sometimes go a little against the grain. And it's okay. If it backfires, I don't think anyone's going to care that much. It's not like you've won any on ICC tournament. So please just go against convention. Try something new. Might actually help.
So what's the pitch now in Rajkot?
I think it's going to be, it's not going to be like this wicket, but I think more of that Hyderabad pitch. It's going to be similar.
No, I think it will be similar to this.
I agree.
No, I think it would be more of the Hyderabad.
Give a slow turner and you once again squandered your advantage.
Why would they do that?
Yeah.
You will give this pitch. And by the way, Rajkot has a reputation of producing flatbeds.
Exactly.
Right? Very good batting pitches, traditional. All you'll do is, you will not water it, but not like Shashwat says, like greenhouse.
You'll do a little alchemy, sure.
Yes,
but
exactly.
You'll ensure it spins, but the batters still have something.
Which is the kind, I think, which you saw over here, because there was red soil. They were saying there was red soil, and then there was a sprinkle, let's say, of some black soil as well.
Other way
The-
around? Huh.
No, that's what at least Kevin Peterson said.
Top was black soil, which
That's what I said.
He said that.
There was a sprinkle of black on top of red, which is where you're getting that additional bounce. Where a couple of times that ball really rocketed, especially when Crawley was on strike. Maybe in those areas, I think you can do something similar as you did.
Rajkot gets red soil.
Red.
Typically, that
Typically.
area gets red soil. I don't know how they've prepared, but if you go with a typical pitch, I think red soil also works, gives you that extra bounce. And when that extra bounce is there, it will make Kuldeep dangerous, it will make Ashwin very dangerous. So that's fine. Give a good pitch, give confidence to your batters. Now you're getting to see some confidence. Jaiswal's got a double 100, you had a Gill get 100. Give the other batters some confidence.
One thing which is why I sort of agree with Sashwan, and I sort of believe that at some point in the series you could, let's say, go back to a Hyderabad, or let's say an out-and-out turner, which Hyderabad wasn't an out-and-out turner, it was a good turning track. Why? Because I just wonder where this match would have headed had India, let's say, not batted first. India won a good toss on day one and got the opportunity to bat first, got the best batting conditions as well, let's not be mistaken. Just thinking what the thinking will be going forward. If you were to lose and then bat four on such tracks, I don't know if India
But
would be
what
up
is-
for the challenge.
What is actually, again in hindsight, we had all said that batting four would be tough, but was it really tough?
No, it wasn't. In fact, the only thing that got
would
them was
India
forward
mind?
pressure.
Yeah.
No, but
Would India mind
also
batting
have to
last on
realize
these
that there are
tracks?
just two I know that everything looks really nice at this point, and everyone has gotten the runs and everything. But we
Who has got the runs?
Only Yashasvi and
That's
Gill.
what
And
I'm
Gill.
saying- That's what I'm saying. There are just two batters who have actually gotten the runs.
But
So,
you only need that's cricket for you.
You are saying everyone's got runs. We're
No,
not
no.
saying.
I'm just saying that suddenly, if that 200 would not have been there, things could have been very different.
No, but then so that way.
Then, so if Pope didn't get 190,
195.
then India were winning that. They lost by 20 some
No,
runs.
there you have people to bank more. You can bank the
No,
players
no,
on
no.
more than here.
And also, I think why they'll go with sporting pitches, because I think this particular track, pitch reports, and by the way, the pitch reports were stunningly accurate throughout. I think it was KP and DK who were doing them. They did a good job, and they said that it will be good to bat for at least 3 days. Even today was day 4. I didn't see demons.
No,
So
no.
actually, where I think England can take some pride is how they bowled in the first innings, because they did bowl well. I mean, you had phenomenally good batting conditions at that point, and they ended day 1 having taken 6 wickets. That was very good. Everything after that, not so good. So actually, it's better you go with the sporting track, because if England had to bat better in the first innings, then we would have said toss wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah.
It's out of the equation.
That's why if Yashasvi did not get runs, if Bumrah also did not get wickets, you would lose. Then now you'll say if that DRS didn't go their
Bumrah is the
way,
man of
they would
the
have
match.
won.
Oh, yes.
Jasprit Bumrah.
Yes,
Very good.
I said it will be him only. this
has to
year.
be a bowler.
They have given it to him.
He cannot believe it that they have given a bowler a man of the match.
Yeah, they
What's the
don't
poll
all the
saying
time.
now? Yes, 69%.
Poll also said, and I also said, they will give it to Jasprit Bumrah. Because commentators pick, I'm sure commentators were there. They're the ones that did the pitch report. They're the ones who said that it was going to be a batting paradise, lots of run. When you see a performance like that by Bumrah, again taking nothing away from Jaiswal, you said it was a close call. But I would also give it to Bumrah, and that's what the
Other
commentators
awards,
said.
Jaiswal has got 3 goals.
Yeah, they give. Of course, now they have awards for everything.
Filmfare, best choice critics, best choice
Popular.
public,
Supporting.
this, that, something.
Debut.
But
But
very
back-
interesting, I remember since we've touched upon Bumrah and his bowling, but just to add to that, I think at the start of day's play, it was those cracks in, just before the first ball had to be bowled, that KP and Murli Karthik were there, and I think Owen
Dinesh
Morgan was
Karthik
there.
even?
No, Murli Karthik was there, I think.
Murli was that today?
I think Murli was there.
Dinesh Karthik was there.
Mixed up the.
Or maybe it was Owen Morgan in fact. So
Karthik was
whatever.
there.
Whatever. So yeah, 2 presenters over there. And I think the one thing that KP said was he went ahead and placed the ball at one of the cracks that bears to wicket, and that's what he said, that probably that'll be the area that Jasprit Bumrah will be targeting. Really like the fact that it came, speaking of the fact that how many things that they got right in terms of their analysis in the pitch.
But
Jasprit
did the crack come into play? Yesterday I saw
that bears to wicket was exactly where the ball was placed, exactly where it was placed. So yes, maybe Jasprit Bumrah was
But did
actually
it
going-
deviate that much from the pitch?
It went
It
with
may
the
have hit
angle.
the crack. It may have hit the crack, but did it like?
No, I don't think so.
It didn't like to the naked eye again.
It wasn't, let's say, devious amount of deviation. Let's
like
say
you sometime on a big
maybe a
crack.
subtle deviation.
That could have been reverse also, in all fairness.
But let's assuming it did hit the crack. I'm not denying that. May have been. But I'm saying that when it does hit a big crack, and there were two big cracks on the pitch, one of them was mighty big, and if it was to land there, it would deviate. But I'm just saying to the naked eye, because I did not see any replay of when it touched or not. You did, probably you did. But I'm saying to the naked eye, it didn't seem like one of those, crack assisted wicket, like hits and big movement and gets out. Maybe it's that slight movement which just did him in.
Just a little hint.
Maybe.
But any update on Shub? Because Shubman Gill did not take the field today.
Yeah, we know that, and there's been no update yet, so they're kind of keeping things a little tight-lipped there.
Oh, there's a big gap. Why are you worried? 9 days. Once you got 100, you aren't sitting out. Little bit injury, you're not sitting out.
I mean, to be fair, he batted through the injury. He picked up the injury on day two. That means he's batted through the injury and only now not taken the field. So he knows. I've got 100, I'm good.
Yeah, he should, as any batter
I
should.
was looking at
He's-
how Sarfaraz might just.
Unlike Shreyas, Shubman Gill at least has ensured that he stays in the squad for the entire series now.
I still think that he was anyways going to stay in there.
No. Now there are credible news reports saying he was given an ultimatum by team management.
No, I still cannot believe that he was. Even I've heard this, that he was told that this is your
Bhai,
last
there's credible
opportunity.
reports. I can show you
But
the
they are coming after
article.
he scored the
No, but
century.
we're not going to trust all article till we find out.
Yeah, because again, it came after he scored the century. Yesterday, I know even I have heard.
And he's a die-hard fan. If he doesn't want to believe such
No,
reports,
I'm
what's
not
wrong?
a fan of. I'm not.
He's
a
a
fan.
Shreyas Iyer.
No, it's,
Diehard.
yeah, and I'm still ready to drop him. That is a different thing. But I still can't
What?
believe that he was told that this
Who?
is your last opportunity, Shubman Gill. By the management, this is your last opportunity. If you don't score, we'll drop you.
I find it hard to believe.
Exactly.
I may be wrong. Maybe the report could be right. I find it hard to believe that you'll tell
You know
Shubman.
what I think this could be? I think I'm not again.
Say we love your conspiracy theory.
No, but I
Like
think
page
this was-
fasa hua hai. We
this
love
was
that.
Again, I think this came out only because after he scored the century, just to portray this image that it's not like that he's untouchable.
But I mean, he's been dropped from T20I, so he's definitely not
Somebody
untouchable.
broke the door, came in and.
My
just-
point
No,
is
but
something
Shane makes a very valid point. Yes, he didn't play the last T20 series you played.
T20, somebody has taken his place. That person has absolutely broken all doors. At that point, they've actually dropped a Shubman Gill, and someone like a Rohit Sharma has come in. That's here. Who would have replaced him?
I mean, you could have dropped him, could have played
Why?
Shreyas
There
at
is
3,
KL
Kohli,
Rahul
KL. There's enough players.
Virat Kohli,
I
both.
don't think he was getting dropped.
And also, if
Sarfaraz-
you're
Okay, let me one second.
Sarfaraz.
Let me ask you. Third test match, KL Rahul, Virat Kohli are available. What would you have done if he had not got runs, Shubman? What would you have done?
Patidar and Shreyas would have gone out.
Shreyas goes out.
Of course.
Okay.
That's fine.
So,
Shreyas was
no.
definitely-
Now you are saying because Gill has got the 100.
No.
Hypothetically.
Even before this, I was saying the same thing.
Achha.
This too, I can even.
No, so you were like, if Shreyas Iyer got 80,
Yeah.
Shubman got 20, Shreyas Iyer was going out.
Huh?
No, 20.
Huh?
At
I'm
80,
asking you. Shreyas Iyer got 88.
Yeah, and Shubman
First
Gill
inning.
got 29.
Shubman Gill got 29. Okay. Who was going out? KL and
Somebody
Virat
would have
out.
gotten injured.
Ask me.
I think
What do you mean somebody would have got?
now that's another
Conspiracy
next level
theory.
theory. No, see, then Gill would have been dropped
Yeah.
because there would have been a lot of outrage saying the person who's getting runs.
Yes. You need to
It's
find a way
clear
to
logic.
have him
It's
in the
clear
team.
logic. So I don't think he's untouchable. I get your point. They do see him as someone as a bright young prospect. Someone who could be an all-format batter. But he got dropped from T20Is, and don't forget, you're barely playing any ODIs this year. So the one format where you could potentially see him actually get big runs, he's not playing. So I don't see him as untouchable. I don't think
But
he
I
was.
still can't believe that he was told before the match.
That's
that
fair.
he
That's
was
your
out.
opinion. That's your opinion, and that's fair. You're
Yeah.
entitled to that.
And just as the other opinion of report is also an opinion, or we assume it is.
No, that
We
is
don't-
That's source based.
But he also has sources. He knew
No,
Pei
no.
Chatka. Okay, let's take some questions, please. Our poll result, we'll just close the poll because now the man of the match is announced. It is Jasprit Bumrah. But we had asked you also who would be your man of the match. It was very close, at least when we were discussing, but we all gave it to Jasprit, 3:1. And in your poll also, it's pretty much 3:1 sort of a
70-30,
scenario,
yeah.
70-30. So that's exactly what we've got in the poll result. So ending that poll, but thank you so much for chipping in with your thoughts. Sharan Minokota, what does he say?
The problem with Bazball is the intent sounds fine. Sometimes the talk goes too far, and I still believe their bowling attack is very weak.
100%.
Yeah, but their bowling attack is weak now with the 11 they've picked. Make a couple of changes, bring in another pacer for one of the spinners, because I think you could have gone with 2 spinners here and it doesn't look all that bad. and you bring in a Jack Leach, assuming he's fit, suddenly that's a very competent lineup. Then you have skilled bowlers. Here you only had one skilled bowler,
Yeah.
Jimmy
But-
Anderson.
But effectively, India also played with one bowler less. But looked
Of
like a
course,
much.
you have far more skill. You have three
Yeah.
skilled bowlers.
So that's
Three
the
bowlers.
difference.
That's the difference.
So that's the difference between the two teams, and I think that is the whole reason why India prepared a pitch like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Knowing fully well that listen, our bowling is much better. Let's get a flat track.
Exactly.
It evens out the batting. We'll also get runs. Let them also get runs. But
Correct.
our bowlers will
Will do
better.
the job. That's
Yeah.
good. You've backed your bowler's skill rather than, oh, we have three spinners, all of whom can bat.
Yep. Okay.
Ashish Dhar says, why wasn't Hartley given out? Third umpire checked for LBW. It was umpires on line and impact. Ashwin could have got 500. Ashish, not to be that person, but I actually did do a video on it just before we went live. It's pretty easy, really. Check that out.
So
But
check the video in detail, but just to sum up for those of you who are joining us live, basically that particular appeal was for caught behind.
correct.
So they checked for caught behind. In caught behind, the umpire had given it out, and so England reviewed. So once you checked on the review that there was no caught behind, it had hit his wrist. So that is done. But because you've gone to a DRS, they'll check all dismissals. So they checked for leg before, as is protocol. They checked for leg before also for that, and it was suggesting that the ball is clipping. But in that particular scenario, the umpire had not given him out for leg before. So the umpire's call does not stand. In which case, clipping, because for umpire that was not out, you go with the on-field umpire. Had the umpire given it out for leg before, then it was clipping, then it would have been out. So it's as simple as
And
that.
if it had to be, say, 3 reds. If he
Yes.
was caught LBW trapped plumb with 3 reds, there was only 1. 3 reds means you would have overturned it. Only 1 red, 2 umpires calls, you were never going to overturn it. You can't.
But the only debate here is because for stumping they've changed it.
Yeah.
But there's no debate as such, because that they have changed. For whenever you used to do a stumping appeal, they check for everything, caught behind, this, that, everything. Now they've pretty much made up their mind that if the third umpire is checking it for stumping, because the third umpire does that, then they're only going to check it for stumping. Having said that, I correct me if I'm wrong, if the team asks for a review, let's say the
Yes.
third umpire hasn't asked for stumping, but the team asks for a review, then they'll have to check
Yes.
all
Yeah.
Yes.
things. Yeah. But because that's a third
But
umpire
again,
thing,
should
they'll
have
only
been the
restrict
same
that.
over here, na?
No, but that is on the instance of the third umpire asking. So the third umpire is insisting that I'm not sure whether it's stump or not. The on-field umpire is asking, I'm not sure if it's out or not. Third umpire, can you help me? So then the third umpire is only going to help him for that.
And also, if India had to review for an LBW, the decision would have been exactly the same, because the umpire gave him not out. So if it's umpire's call, the umpire didn't give anything, it had to be 3 reds to overturn it. You didn't get 3 reds, so he was never going to be out.
Simple. Yeah. Okay. Vibhor Sahi says KS Bharat is the best wicketkeeper batsman India ever produced. He keeps horribly and bats horribly, but still will keep his spot.
He's very good at keeping something, his spot.
But is he keeping his spot?
What happened? Dhruv Jurel comes.
I don't know.
I'm
No,
asking.
listen, we debated yesterday, said if India win, you ain't making any changes. I think that's happening.
That's what.
If
You're not even getting Siraj back?
No, I think
No,
that's
no,
different,
for
Baba, for the
wicket-keeper.
underperforming players. So,
No, Virat is available, so even he will come back.
they'll not bring him in.
KL
Sorry,
Rahul-
Shreyas, you go out and
No,
bat
he
more.
meant, only we discussed that
KS
yesterday,
wicket-
KS Bharat. You will make obviously the obvious changes You will.
KL will come in.
if he
for-
is fit, whatever.
for particular.
Unless you go with a KL Rahul wicket keeping, which they've already said they're not going to do, then you only you have given Vanvas to Ishan Kishan, which we've debated a lot yesterday, so we're not
Yeah.
going to debate. We spent a good 40 minutes just debating Ishan Kishan. You can check
On day
that
4
out.
of the test.
Yeah, you can
Day
see
3,
that.
sorry.
Yeah, his whole situation, why they say you can check that video out. So since that is not happening, now you only have 2 options. Either you stick with a KS Bharat or Jurel comes in for his place, the other. What do you think is going to happen? Pick.
Has to be, unfortunately, convention. And again, as I said, look up convention, Indian team right there. They'll stick with Bharat for
No, but
another
I
test.
think it's high time you move on now.
No, I see.
So what do you?
I'd get in Jurel because there is no other option right now.
That's fair. I think it's fair.
I think
don't
one
there's a
more
wrong
test
call.
match and then you can look, because then the sample size would have been about 8 matches for you.
7 and 8.
What? How many more matches?
There are players in the side who, after having played 25 test matches, aren't even averaging 30.
Yeah, there are, but again, things are not the same for everyone.
So
na?
that's what you need
People
to do.
come in the team as wicket keepers and then started batting
Again,
when that happens.
And what do we know about Dhruv Jurel? That it is important and
Nothing, but
imminent.
again, KS Bharat, you're not moving ahead with KS Bharat. He's been with the team for a very long time now, and you're not moving. He's
7 matches
but
is-
he's been with the team for a very long time.
So that
Remember
doesn't
what I
mean
said.
game time or game experience, na? That doesn't add anything.
But
Traveling with the
he's not
team.
getting younger also each day. Na?
So-
He's not there as your scheme of things for the long term.
How old
Then
is
it's
he?
better to move
Even
on.
with his age, he can carry on for another 3-4 years.
He
Are
can
you
get
in a
to
hurry?
40.
Are you in a hurry?
I'm not saying he can't, but it's time to move on.
It's
He's
not
gone.
T20 cricket now where you have to plan for longer this thing.
No, why-
You are looking
why-
at specialists.
No, you're looking.
You have so
you're
many.
looking
There's
to
a
move ahead.
41-year-old playing a test match right now. As long as he's,
I understand with
as long as he's good. As long as
But
he's
KS
good.
Bharat isn't good. Is
So
the
that's
problem.
what you need to see. Somebody.
he's not
it-
even keeping well. Na?
it
That's
is-
the problem.
then that puts into doubt the whole domestic system that you're so fond of.
What?
Yeah.
Dhruv Jurel has done well in domestic.
No,
Yeah,
but that's what I'm saying. KS Bharat as well, for somebody who's done well, who's come out of that system, was traveling with the team for good 1.5 year, 8 test matches. You're saying that's all the patience, 16 innings. That's it.
But the way he's getting out, did you see the way he got out in this test match in both the innings?
The way with Bazball, so many of these batters are getting out, then that should to mean that their test career should be over by now.
For England, na?
For England, yeah.
Why are you comparing?
I'm just saying, what is this now? Mode of dismissal? How is that this
And
thing?
come on, he's
It's
getting
terrible,
out to
it's
half
terrible.
crackers.
His ball stayed low in the first innings,
Huh?
last test match. Last test match.
So
match.
last, I'm talking about this test match. 2 careless shots.
Terrible
Two careless shots.
Pathetic, and then he's dropping catches also. And he's being
See-
more vocal today behind the stumps. I think I know why that.
I will say that there are only 2 batters who are worse than KS Bharat in this team. Worse in the sense behind him in the pecking
I can
order.
guess who they are.
Yeah.
There's Mukesh Kumar and Jasprit Bumrah.
Correct.
And some might even argue don't put Jasprit Bumrah.
I mean, he scored 35 runs in an over.
So in terms of batting, he's giving you nothing. Let's accept it. He hasn't in these many matches.
Second
Second,
senses also, yeah, he's right. Pawan there.
his
Yeah.
DRS sense is the other thing, which wherever he says don't, it's out. Whenever he says take, it's not out.
Not out.
That's one more
Not
thing.
contributing
Secondly, he's made a few, the drop catches, a miss stumping, and so on and so forth has also happened. So he's under the cosh. You have to agree. If reports are correct, if reports are correct that Gill was under pressure and told that this is his last game, if those reports are correct, then I think if Gill can be told that this is your last game, then I don't see any reason why KS Bharat should not be told that. Having said that, I am in agreement that because India has won this test match, a lot of things that really don't need fixing will just be left. Status quo would be maintained. Like, why do you need to change it? Because with Jurel also, as I said, if there was a Pant or a Kishan or someone coming back, then it was a easy call to take. But that is not happening. You also have another untested player sitting in your bench. So you might say, let's not panic too much and make too many changes. Let's maintain the status quo and go. So I think that will be the approach. So there won't be any changes. That's not to say that I think KS Bharat is the future. You need to look, which is why I said that where are all the keepers that you had been preparing? At this point, though, even Ridhiman Saha would be far better. But you decided to move ahead. Sure, that's
Fair.
fine. Fair enough.
The biggest thing is that you are coming into bat at 370, and if you can't take the team total to 4, I mean in terms of lead to 400, then I don't think that you actually deserve the spot as a keeper in the team.
I mean, we were saying that he should come into bat at number 9.
Yeah,
He is a
yesterday
number 9.
He is a number 9.
No, he is a number 7 at this point. He should be
Officially a number 7, skill-wise number 9.
I'd bat Ashwin ahead of
And
him.
he's not
Arshad,
showing
anyway, is batting.
And he's not showing that I don't think that anything is visible that he would do better.
Eye test, basically. He's not passing that eye
He's
test.
not even passing that. I don't know where.
Kuldeep will bat ahead of him.
He definitely should. He can at least.
But
hang
the
on.
only thing I'm holding against Kuldeep is getting bullied by playing those
Yeah,
shots.
that was very wrong of Ashwin. Very wrong.
Because Kuldeep can hang on, he's
Yeah,
a decent
yeah.
bat.
He did well, I remember in that Bangladesh series. Batted well, hung in. I think there were a couple of times he hung in
He's
there
a
nicely.
good batter.
Yeah, he
He's
is.
a very good batter.
He's worked on his batting also.
Yeah.
It's not like he was always a good batter.
No, I remember when he actually came into the IPL for the first time for KKR, he used to bat really well.
Maaf
No,
karo, he never
earlier
batted well for
first season when he
KKR.
actually came, when he,
He's telling
in
me.
his debut. No, I'm asking you.
No, he didn't.
Did
Never.
he? No.
You're mixing him with Umesh Yadav, who could at least stump a couple.
Umesh Yadav is bowling really well these days. Again, he has taken 4.
No, but where will you play?
Yeah, that's the.
I mean, if you're looking at bench players, then could he do worse than Mukesh Kumar?
Ishant Sharma?
Yesterday.
Tell again.
No. He himself doesn't want to.
So Siraj should come back. If it's a flat track, you have to play 2 fast bowlers.
Yeah.
Bring in a Siraj.
Assuming, and that's assuming, of course, as we were suspecting that there's no Shami. So,
Oh, Shami, I down.
yeah, even I doubt, truth be told.
Okay. Vikum
Ekanaike. I'm assuming Sri Lankan.
What if Bumrah wasn't there but Kohli was? Oh, interesting one.
Can't we have both? Let's be
But you
greedy.
know, they're not like for like. You're talking about a proper batter versus a proper fast bowler. So it's tough to then. You're actually not comparing apples with apples.
Here you're comparing what if Messi wasn't there but Busquets was?
Ah.
It's a very different
Midfielder
comparison.
versus a striker,
You're two
yeah.
different positions, 2 different roles.
Yeah.
Don't go there.
I mean, like, see, so you can look at it that way. If Kohli was there, your inexperienced middle order wouldn't have been there. There's a good chance that in a track like this, between 2 innings, you would have got you 100, 80, 90, something like that. So you would have gotten a bigger total, agreed. But then if there was no Bumrah who would pick those 6 wickets on a flat track, even England would have got 400, 500. So
Correct.
it's not a fair comparison. But if I was to say one thing, if you ask me to pick MVP of Indian Test team, most valuable player, include everyone in it, Jasprit Bumrah is my MVP in the Indian Test team. He is by far the most valuable player. It's like another example of saying you're playing gully cricket and you're captain. You get to pick the first player. Who's your first choice? There is a Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, Jasprit Bumrah, KL Rahul. Everyone is there. Ashwin, Jadeja, everyone is available. You have to pick the first player. Who do you go with? I'm picking my first pick, Jasprit Bumrah.
Even my first pick would be just playing.
Gully cricket you're playing. Assuming gully cricket is as competitive, there's reverse swing with
Maybe
the
I'll
He
second
doesn't
ball.
need reverse swing. Tell him to bowl 5 Yorkers. You're sorted.
Who's your first pick? It could be Virat also. It could be an Ashwin. Could be a Jadeja. Anyone.
I think Virat.
You'll go Virat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, I'm guessing he would have played more gully cricket here in Delhi Straits.
No, but that doesn't matter. Bumrah would have played in Ahmedabad. How does that matter?
Delhi ki galiyan.
Bumrah. Okay. Pranit Datta.
Panesar's dream of 5-0 is over. Anderson's claim of getting 600 in the last innings turned out to be a bluff. Not every day Pope is going to play in innings like that. Bazball is a fuss. India has shown who's the boss.
Again, too extreme.
We're going
wouldn't
the
say
other
so.
end.
I won't say so.
All I'm saying is that it's a good position to be in. All I'm saying is that it is, as a cricket fan, great time for us because this series has just gotten going. It's perfectly placed at 1-1. At one point you had England do well, the next point India do well, and might I add, both test matches pretty close. The first one, of course, closer than this. But all I'm saying is, even though this is a 100-run margin, England kept it exciting. What else do you want as a cricket fan? All I'm saying is I'm glad this is a 5-match series. Unlike the West Indies, Australia finished in 2 matches. Unlike India, South Africa finished in 2 matches. At least we have a 5-match series. There are 3 more test matches to look forward to. Imagine what more do you have. So it's a clash of those 2 philosophies which we mentioned right at the start of the series, and it's living up to the billing. What do you want?
And the fact that the IPL is very close already and nobody is actually talking about it. The buzz hasn't started.
The broadcasters will beg to differ.
No,
They're only talking about it.
Are they?
You hear?
I don't care. We are talking about test cricket. Have you even once thought
I
of
did.
KKR?
Yesterday.
No, I haven't thought about the IPL.
Neither have I.
We don't even
Because he's a
have
Delhi
chance.
Capitals fan. What do you think about it?
I don't.
Same. Ditto.
No reason to.
Heartbreaking every year.
But he's also right. If you're a Delhi Capitals fan, not too
No,
much.
that's no reason not to.
No,
That's
exactly.
no
The
reason
IPL
not
as a
to.
whole also.
No, in fact, that should be more reason for them to start thinking earlier. Tense. What will happen?
No,
No,
you get numb to the pain after a point.
As it is not a big IPL fan, so it
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
No, but Delhi started to be that team who's there to fill the spots.
I won't
Actually.
roll my team like that, which is why I don't like Shashwat much. He takes a dig at his own team.
No, because
That's okay.
That's
you
okay.
can't
There,
take-
there are 2 types of fans in everything. Like you're a United fan. There's some, no matter what happens, they'll be with the team. They are right there.
Okay, so I am
There's
with
some
them.
who you are so obsessed with winning that every time there's a mistake, they're like, why is he playing this?
Yeah.
This coach is using it. All sorts of fans. He's that fan.
You appeal to all subsets, really.
And I'm a very loyal. I've been with them through all.
Because he expects nothing less than a trophy.
Exactly, I have a whole banner of them in my or behind my back. That's the only team I really am very passionate and
Look at that.
at
All
one
sorts
point
of
of my
fans.
life.
Not
I
all fans
bed
can just
covers.
be blindly supporting the
Get
team.
back.
My
Bed
bed
covers.
sheet was of Delhi Capitals. Not that at that time it was Delhi Daredevils.
Same thing.
So I'm like it's very close to my heart. I really want. At 2021, I will never.
Shashwat, you're not about to cry, right?
I will if they again.
Okay, Quick Nut says thoughts on what will be the Rajkot pitch like. We already discussed that. Now you can go back, check that out. Sarat Chandra Yalamarti says one thing left Rohit to hit back to form, then Bazball will be Beast Ball. Nothing can stop her, which is
I
true.
agree.
Imagine if a Rohit also is in form. Yashasvi's got runs, Gill got runs this time, Virat comes back, KL
comes
has
back.
been getting runs, Jadeja back, Shami comes back. Then you
Then it's Baz fall.
Baz fall.
No, but I think as soon as Virat is back, I think Rohit would start getting runs because as of now it's playing on his mind that
What happens with the
No, I feel like this
More
point he's
responsibility.
he's being a little tentative because of the fact that he feels that he's the only one with that sort of experience, and it's a young.
Well, that's not the worst point in the world. I mean, one of the reasons I think Rohit could play those kind of knocks in the World Cup is because you knew you have a Kohli there who
Although
can bat on.
clearly Hyderabad made
So
you
it's a
show,
bad thought, but not the worst in the world.
Not the worst in the world that he's had. Let's put it that way.
Shashwat. But I like how he takes it on the chin and move forward from there.
I like Akash Bharadwaj's thought as well. He says, I don't think this series is going to be 4-1. It's going to go down to the wire. To be fair, I think I was the only one here who had predicted a 3-2 to India, and that is going down to the
I think
wire.
I'd gone with 4-1, but I can't disagree with you, Akash.
I'm
think.
still at 3-2.
3-2 is very
You also
likely at
picked
this
3-2.
point.
Yeah, I picked 3-2.
And who was 3, who was 2?
India is 3.
I had said India was 3. I
don't
expected them
remember
to win
making a
2
prediction.
I'd said 4-1, I remember clearly.
But
Who said 5-0? I think
Siddharth may have said it. Or Monty Panesar.
Monty
No,
Python said it.
Sidvi sir also said 4-1.
4-1, I think Siddharth
Yeah,
went
I
with 4-1.
remember.
Okay, Daniel M says, does a traditional Indian pitch favor batting first? 100% does. And I think this was pretty much that. But the only good point that has really emerged was that it wasn't as difficult to bat on in the fourth innings as previously Indian pitches have been. So, not as bad. So, it will also give most teams, if you were to lose the toss, would not really put you down is to think, oh, all is done and dusted, the game is over, you've lost the toss, finished. No. So even if India were to lose this toss, I agree, winning the toss is a big advantage, but you wouldn't be like, oh, let's pack up and go.
And for that matter, if you're talking about that, then Daniel, on traditional, say, English pitches, there you in fact prefer batting second because the juice from the pitch is then gone, and the longer the test goes, the more you prefer, actually the batting becomes easier. But I think that's, at least historically, that's how it always has been. So, and I'm not to say this, not to say if you win the toss, then you have 110% advantage. If you have skilled bowlers in the opposition, they can wrap you up in a day or so, then they also get the good batting conditions. Then when the ball is actually moving around, day 4, 5, it's spinning, you can get that advantage.
And I think these are the real Indian pitches that the batters
Correct.
are actually used to playing. They've played all throughout their lives on such pitches. If we go to any...
Barring the last 3 years.
Yeah,
No,
but
yeah.
those weren't really the pitches that all the batters have actually grown up playing on. These pitches are the true pitches where batters have that experience, it has that perfect bounce, and it's the typical Indianish wicket. So I think it would be more helpful if we get these pitches.
Okay, Saidu says reason for the first test match loss was not Bazball, it was our fielding mistakes.
No, it definitely was partly Bazball. I don't think your fielding helped. But I mean, come on, Ollie Pope playing that kind of a knock caught you off guard. So,
Webb of Tarangi says Root could have easily played a big knock in this wicket today, but Bazball ruined his chances. McCullum and Stokes should at least allow Root to play safe and long in the coming matches. Just a thought on that. I mean, Root has been successful playing this sort of cricket. He has been doing it the last couple of years or so, and it has done well for him. He has gone on to play big innings. Having said that, I think today was over adventurous.
yeah.
Being adventurous is fine, and Root playing like that has been, doing well. Today was over adventurous, and India knew that, and they laid a plan for that, knowing fully well that no matter what he's going to attack, and the plan worked. They had mid on, mid off up,
yeah.
and Ashwin then bowled that wider one. You still are choosing to play, so play aggressive, but look at the ball before deciding to be aggressive and not premeditative aggressive. That's what Root did. Now, in hindsight, if he got a half century, they were in with a chance. A half century, at the end it's a 100-run margin. A half century by Root, and Ben Stokes
Ben
not
Stokes,
running so casually, who knows where this game could have gone.
Different
That-
game, ball game altogether.
Yeah.
In fact, the easiest to sort of, or the easiest traps were sort of laid for him, because again, for somebody like Rehan Ahmed, a similar trap was laid wherein, the entire leg side was, let's say, kept open. Okay, you try hitting me there, goes across the line, gets wrapped in front of the pads. Again, for that easier trap to be set for a night watchman, you understand, okay, for him falling for it. But a season batter like Joe Root falling for such a trap, advancing already when strike rate isn't an issue, there's a lot of time left in the test match. You've already gotten a few boundaries, not like you're in dire need of a boundary to make yourself feel comfortable out there in the middle. None of that.
They did the same thing with Bharat also.
With Ashwin, with him, do you need to really lay a trap
That's
though?
what they did it though.
Okay, we also know that chairman of selector Ajit Agarkar and Rohit Sharma had a very, very long chat right after the test match is over. If you had to guess what was the conversation happening? Shashwat is very good at that.
No,
This is just, all of us are going to guess.
No, none of us know.
None of us know. Unless you have a khufia mic placed, we don't. So we're not going to guess. What do you think they would have been? Yes.
I think they're discussing about the next 50.
But what? Just role play now. What do you think?
I think they'd be.
Let's start with Shane first. Shane, what do you
I think you're talking
What is
about
Rohit saying? What is Ajit saying?
potentially. I think the one thing they could have been discussing about the return of certain players, whether it be Kohli, KL, Jaddu, I don't think is coming back because if he's in the NCA, then it's very touch and go. But Rohit, Rahul, and of course Virat could be discussing that. We don't know. Again, I'm just speculating.
Yeah. All of us are going to be. We don't have a mic. What are they discussing? What are they talking? I want
I
to
think
know
it's more
specific.
about how to drop, whom to drop next time. As soon as KL come, because it's going to be a really big talking point that should it be Patidar or Shreyas Iyer, who you should drop.
No,
if
no,
KL
I
come.
don't
Not a
think
big talking point. Has
Yeah.
to be Patidar. It'll always be the
But it'll be
debutant.
Very unfair and very wrong.
No.
To be very honest, he has not looked bad. He has looked pretty good.
I agree, but usually that's what happens. No?
Yeah.
Unless, see, I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. In Patidar's case, if he's dropped, you're not calling his career. You're not calling time on his career. Because you'll know that, okay, he came in because so-and-so was not available. If you're dropping an Iyer, then you're pretty much taking a call. That, done. We've given you a chance. Imagine if Iyer is dropped, that we gave you a chance. No, not really chipping in. And now we're going with Patidar. See, that I'm just saying, as soon as that happened, it is kind of showing you the thought process of what they're doing. I doubt that they've reached. I agree that I only took out those numbers. Last 12-13 innings of Shreyas Iyer, not inspiring at all. And the way he's getting out also not inspiring. But to take a call in his career, it's a big call. And you only reach there if, it's the last resort. And also, as I said, because India has won, there is not too much pressure to change a lot of things. I think he will, like KS Bharat, survive that axe. It may have come now, but it may have survived it because now India has won and going forward, and because you have someone like a Patidar to drop, who will not raise a lot of eyebrows if he was to. So which is why he gets, by the way, something that will add on to what Iyer did was his fielding. A run out in a catch.
No, very good catch.
Played a role. Just sometime, I'm not saying it'll help him gain confidence with the bat, but I'm saying it'll just help him get that slight nudge to be there in the team rather than being dropped.
Then how do you actually still keep Sarfaraz in the squad, or do
You
you
don't.
just let him go?
I think you let him go. Let him allow him to play
play
Ranji
Ranji.
Trophy.
The quarterfinals now.
Yeah, that's what happened. He came in because somebody got injured. He goes out because that injured person is back. I think that's.
I just hope he's able to play Ranji, because that knock that he had on his toe when Ben Stokes hit that ball in his fielding right there. Not too sure how fit he's going to be now. Because that was bang on the toe, such a close range. So, yeah.
Okay, Piyush Nandri says, because you were talking about what Ajit and Rohit would have been discussing, he says maybe they're discussing Poonam Pandey controversy. Why would they be
3 days later?
Yeah, why would they? Why? And they are better than the test match has gotten over.
There are these meme pages who now this has started that they pick this conversation of switch off the audio and then.
That's why I asked you, what is it, the conversation? I could be like, Ajit is asking Rohit so is Virat available for the next side? Rohit's like, I don't know. Did he speak to you? Is he available for the next side? He said, oh, I thought you knew. No, I thought you. Maybe like that. So it's okay, let's wait. Maybe one of us will get in touch with him to find out if he makes himself available. That could be one thing that they may have been talking. The other thing they could have been talking is like, I haven't been able to speak to Jaddu. What is he doing? And Ajit is like, no, he's at NCA. I had a word with him. He's recuperating. It'll take time. I don't think you'll get him next test match. Then maybe they could be like, Mukesh, played him. Rohit's like, yeah, it was a tough call, but I think we went with him. Koi baat nahi, I think he'll learn. But next match, Siraj is ready. He's ready. That's what.
Those meme pages you're referring to are good. I think the best one I remember seeing was when that entire LSG and RCB controversy took place. No, Gambhir and Virat. One of those was top notch. There's certain things that I can't even say here. But yeah, very good.
There's nothing that we can say.
Exactly.
Okay, Fit Monk makes that point, what we discussed, that Iyer should be awarded for one more match because of his brilliant run out of Stokes.
Could have both a potential game changer.
Catch as well.
What if Virat also comes back? Then you have to.
Well, again, everything is speculation at this point.
Yeah, and there is a good
Get to know
chance.
today.
No. See, if Virat now, if Virat and KL Rahul are back, then I think Iyer will still have to make way.
Yeah, then he'll be in the squad most likely, not in the playing 11.
Yeah. Unless India decide to drop a bowler and say that one fast bowler, it depends on the pitch also, not going to do anything, so they don't want to go with another spinner. I think these many 4 bowlers are enough. Effectively, it's your 4 bowlers that got you all the wickets, the 20 wickets, or at least 19 they did. And good fielding that's taken you through. So maybe you might go, let's play an extra batter if you want to. May not happen though, I doubt. I think they'll go for another fast bowler. Sarat Chandra says Jimmy thought like Virat to give hell to the other team, but it turned them on them as they played only 56 points.
Yeah, today they played 56.2 overs.
So 60 overs they wouldn't have reached, even if they hadn't lost the wickets. Wouldn't have reached. Okay, so that says Vizag curator to Shashwat, call an ambulance but not for.
But that's a meme. There's a meme.
But I understand the sentiment.
Yeah.
He is also bullying him. So. You says now India should give rank turner for Rohit to get 100 since Gill got good batting wicket. Actually, Rohit Sharma on those rank turners gets 100.
He's a very handy bat.
He's going to score now.
No, but it's right. Like on those real tough tracks, he's gotten 100. Easy ones hasn't been. Okay, final comment we'll take. From Naman Kantpal, what do you do with 4th and 5th bowling option? I felt we effectively played with 3. Who do you think is getting picked as well as dropped? What's your take on Harsha versus Kevin? Switch it takes. No sweeps. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I heard this conversation. I think it happened on day 1. I'm not sure if it happened today as well. Wherein Harsha was of the opinion that you shouldn't be allowing the reverse sweeps and all, because as a bowler you're taken off guard. KP is like, no, like why? Harsha then came up with it. What if bowler then starts to change arms in the delivery then, in his delivery side. KP is like, well, bowlers can go ahead and do that if they can. Like it's
but
a tougher thing.
This is not a new debate. This I know is a long debate. If I'm not mistaken, I think Mr. Gavaskar also said it many years ago.
It was engineered ironically by KP and his switch it only.
Yeah. When KP used to play, at that time also this debate was there that this is not fair because a right-hander has to be a right-hander, right? And if he's going to start playing lefty, then the bowler should be allowed. And I think KP is right. I agree with him. It's an innovation by a batter. Let's reward him rather than penalize him. But at the same time, allow the bowler.
Yeah, I'd love to see some bowler running up, then switch hands, flip around and just bowl a lefty.
And there have been bowlers who actually bowl with both hands, but then they have to, in between overs, they have to tell the umpire that they're changing
but change that.
Yeah.
Allow the bowler to bowl from whichever way. Just let the side be known, bowling over or round, and then bowl. Use whichever hand.
You're over the wicket to the right hander, then it doesn't matter whether I'm bowling with my left hand, right hand.
Exactly.
What about the 4th and 5th bowling option? I think all of that will depend on the pitch also that's on offer. But I think if it's a flat track, assuming it's a pitch like this, then you need to play 2 fast bowlers because you can't expect Jasprit Bumrah to keep bowling. What if they were to have a long partnership? You need another strike bowler. I think Siraj should be that guy. You've been too quick to not have him. So, he should come back. I think he'll give that bite to the Indian bowling. Batting is pretty much sorted. Yeah, I think a batter needs to step up. How much more can you add in terms of cushion to the batting? I think you've got enough batters. If a wicket keeper is batting at number 9, which he should, it's okay. You should take KS Bharat at number 9. Decent batting. What do you say?
Good enough.
How many more batters do you want? So stick to your bowler. You need more bowling, and get up Siraj. No update on Virat so far.
Yeah,
lot of
that
people
we'll know, of course, and that really depends on him because he has to make himself available. It's not like he's unfit. So
We'll try and get some update. Okay. 1-1. Enjoy it. The whole day, whenever India wins, the rest of the day goes well. Now,
yeah, swimmingly.
Good things, what has happened, how they did, all of that. So take care. Bye bye. We're gonna have dugout today.
Yeah.
We finished pretty early, so 6:15 dugout. We'll try and take more questions. For the moment, from all of us, bye bye. See you at 6:15 for the dugout.